Cub fans getting a special gift on their way into Wrigley Field. Tonight it is Giovanni Soto bobblehead night at the ballpark, and the Cubs catcher in the lineup and batting seventh. And we're set for Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. The Cubs open up the second half as they entertain the Florida Marlins in the first of a four-game series. Hi again, everyone. Along with a refreshed Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. Good to be back with you here tonight. And Bob, let's talk STARLIN Castro, the Cubs all-star representative. He got in the middle of the action on Tuesday night, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Stole a couple of bases. Unfortunately made an error at the shortstop position. But in the big picture, the baseball fans around the country got to see what Cub fans have been watching in the first half of the season. This is a budding superstar, and he's just going to continue to get better. Tremendous first half of the season. Hopefully he'll be able to improve on those numbers in the second half.
Cubs swept the Marlins in a quick two-game series in Florida in May. They come in last place, a huge change because of a dismal month of June. They have a new manager, although he's kind of an old manager, isn't he?
Oh, he's old, no question about that, but he's back with the Marlins. Let's put it that way. And back in 2003, Jack McKeon was 75-49 after he took over. And you can see what the Marlins have done this year. Pretty good first month, not so bad the second month. June, the wheels just completely fell off. It was time for a change.
And they won 5 in a row going into the All-Star break. So coming up tonight, as the Cubs open up an 11-day, 10-game homestand, the All-Stars, STARLIN Castro. And the guys in the middle who are hot to end the first half hope to keep it going tonight. Next. Field. A mild evening. The wind is blowing in as Matt Garza gets set to open the second half tonight against the Florida Marlins. Cubs come in 37-55. They're in fifth in the NL Central. Still looking for that elusive first three-game winning streak of the season. Mike Quade and STARLIN Castro going to and from the All-Star game had quite an odyssey. They had their flight canceled Sunday night from Pittsburgh, so they didn't get to Phoenix until Monday, and then Mike had some issues with TSA on the way back from Phoenix yesterday, but he's here, and the Cubs are ready to resume the 2011 season. Now the Florida Marlins Southwest starting lineup written out by 80-year-old manager Jack McKeon. Emilio Bonifacio has really thrived under his new skipper. Omar Infante is at second. The all-star for the Marlins, Gabby Sanchez, is at first. Hanley Ramirez moved down to the cleanup spot by his skipper. He has been a lot better. Morrison and Stanton making their first ever appearances here at Wrigley. Cameron, the veteran. John Buck, the catcher, and Anibal Sanchez, the pitcher.
Take a look at the Cubs defensively tonight, brought to you by Degree. It'll be Soriano, Bird, and Fukudome left to right across the outfield. Ramirez at third base. The Cubs' lone all-star, at least as far as players go. STARLIN Castro at shortstop. Darwin Barney over at second. Carlos Pena at first base tonight. Giovanni Soto doing the catching. For right-hander, our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher, Matt Garza. Record stands at 4-7 on the season. The ERA at 4.26, coming off the second shortest outing of his career. Got banged around by the Washington Nationals in D.C. right before the break. Went only 2 innings, gave up 8 hits and 7 runs in that ball game. Looking to rebound because he had been throwing the ball extremely well before his last outing.
Get the umpires for you. Ohio State graduate James Hoy will work the plate. Lance Barrett at first. The crew chief is Tom Hallion at second. Phil Cuzzi at third. It's a switch hitting Emilio Bonifacio, hoping the all-star break didn't cool off his bat. He has a career best 12-game hitting streak, and his season and maybe even his career really changed in Oakland shortly after Jack McKeon took over. And the reason McKeon is their manager is Edwin Rodriguez resigned in the midst of a 9-game losing streak and a 1-17 start to the month of June. They ended up going 5-23 that month. The bench coach Brandon Hyde took over for 1 game, and then Jack, who had been a special advisor, still with the Marlins after managing them to the World Series in 2003, said, "Sure, I'll jump back into the dugout," and here he is. And here's Bonifacio, and he takes a strike. And the story in Oakland, Bob, is that Bonifacio was at first base and he had the green light to run, and he wasn't running. And Jack got up to the top step of the dugout, looked at him and said, "Run." And he did. And he got back in the dugout. He said, "Don't worry if you get caught. I want you to be aggressive." Nice pick by Carlos Pena. Safe. Bonifacio beat him to the bag and now has a 13-game hitting streak.
Should have been an out. Nice play by Carlos Pena to make the pick right there. Either commit to going to the bag or toss the ball to the pitcher. One or the other. He kind of got caught in between, and with Bonifacio's speed, he's able to leg it out for an infield hit. Garza a little late getting off the mound. That forced Pena to make the play to the base and just could not win that foot race.
And you can expect him to run.
Yeah, absolutely. His last 11 games before the break, 12 stolen base attempts, 11 successful.
The other thing McKeon told Bonifacio, you got to start taking some 2-0 and 3-1 pitches. You're going to strike out more, but you're going to walk more as well. I think that confidence that McKeon gave his leadoff batter has really helped him get in this hot stretch, and the Cubs hope to contain him here this weekend. Omar Infante, the second baseman. Long pause by Garza, and he's going to throw to first. Bob, Matt Garza had to sit on his worst start of the first half for a while. It's never ideal when you got to wait a full week before your next start, but it did not go well in Washington. That was the big Cubs comeback, so he got a no decision, but only went 2 innings. Inside on a fastball, 1 ball, no strikes.
Another thing for Matt Garza, he needs to field his own position a lot better than he has in the first half of the season. 5 errors already, most of them coming on sacrifice bunt attempts. Bonifacio takes off, and that one's floated out into left for a base hit.
So back-to-back singles to start it. And that'll bring up the all-star Gabby Sanchez.
It appeared to be a hit and run by Jack McKeon that time. Bonifacio was looking in toward home plate the entire time. He was breaking for second. And a real nice job by OMAR Infante. We've talked about the hit and run before. Ideally, the right-handed batter hits the ball to the right side of the field where the big hole is, and you end up with a first and third situation. Just put the ball in play. That time a fastball up and in. No way Infante could guide that ball to the right side, so he just hit a soft single in the left field to put runners at first and second.
He's the first Florida Marlin first baseman ever named to the NL All-Star team. He popped out as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning Tuesday night. Two on, nobody out. We just got started here at Wrigley. And an infield pop-up. This will be out number 1 as Carlos Pena will take care of it. And here comes Hanley Ramirez. Today a bit of a different day. The Cubs had a mini workout at around 3 o'clock. Lasted about an hour and a half. Full batting practice, some fielding drills. And Quaddy addressed the troops before the workout. Really kind of leaning on the 24-13 finish last year. I think this team can do everything at least a little bit better here in the second half, and some things a lot better in order for this team to pile up some wins. Towering fly ball, and it's going to be Soriano on the warning track, and he'll be called off at the last second by BYRD. Bonifacio tagging. He'll end up at third. And as we often say, if the wind were blowing out, that's a 3-run homer, but it's not, and it's a long out.
It's a break for the Cubs that the wind is blowing in tonight. Looked like Ramirez got every bit of that fastball down and in. 95 miles an hour, but Ramirez gets the barrel of the bat on the ball and chases Marlon BYRD all the way to the door out there in left center field.
So a chance for Garza to get out of it as he faces Logan Morrison, the left fielder.
A lot of these Marlins hitters were hot right before the break. Most players in mid-season, they look forward to that all-star break. A few days of rest and relaxation, clear your mind, physically get your body back together again. But there are guys who were swinging the bat extremely well when the break came, and they would prefer just to keep on rolling.
There's one of them right there, Ramirez, who had his best stretch of the first half over the final couple of weeks. That's outside on a heater. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think it was a real good idea for Mike Quaddy and his coaching staff to have that little mini workout this afternoon before the ball game. I don't care what your job is. When you have an extended vacation, a long weekend, whatever the case may be, nobody likes to go back to work the next day. So Mike Quaddy got the guys out here on the field, a little refresher course in some of the fundamentals, a little extra batting practice. Hopefully get their minds back into baseball mode quickly.
Did you find the 0-2 All-Star break restful?
Not in the least.
Now, you were the manager, not a coach on the All-Star staff, but I think Mike spent yesterday sleeping once he got home. That was his only off day.
Most people who are involved in the All-Star game spend that final day of the break just trying to recharge your batteries. I mean, you see what you see on television over the All-Star break, the home run derby and the futures game and then the game itself. Yeah, but there are a lot of other activities that the players and coaches are expected to partake in. A lot of autograph signing, hours and hours of signing autographs. There are certain functions that you're expected to attend, and it really isn't a break for those guys who are playing in the game.
Full count, 3-2.
especially when you have travel issues the way Starlin Castro and Mike Quade did.
At one point, when they found out their flight was canceled Sunday night, Starlin looked at his manager in the airport and said, "Nice vacation."
Didn't you want to spend your All-Star break at the Pittsburgh airport?
Infante will go with this 3-2 swing and a miss. He struck him out. So the Marlins get the first 2 on, but fail to score, and the Cubs are coming up. The lineup we've seen a lot lately with Starlin Castro batting second and the red-hot RAMIREZ hitting third. And what this does is it moves Darwin Barney down to the 8th spot. He's been red-hot since he's been put in that spot.
Take a look at the Marlins defensively tonight. Logan Morrison in left field. Mike Cameron, the veteran, in center. Mike Stanton over in right field. It'll be BONIFACIO, RAMIREZ, Infante, and Sanchez third to first across the infield. John Buck doing the catching tonight. Right-hander Anibal Sanchez, 13-game winner last season for the Marlins. Established career highs in just about every important category for a pitcher. Kind of an unusual end to his first half. You see the 6-2 record, ERA under 4, but in his last 5 starts he had 4 no decisions and a loss. His last 2 he was not very good at all against the Rangers and the Phillies, when a total of 7 2/3, gave up 13 hits, 12 runs, and 7 walks.
Yeah, and his ERA over those last 2 outings shot up from 2.82 to 3.58.
19th start of the season. You see the opponent's batting average pretty even, righty lefty. Throws a lot of fastballs and sliders, a real good straight changeup. Will mix in an occasional curveball.
It's grounded to HANLEY Ramirez, and Fukudome is out. Comes the all-star Starlin Castro. I asked him, who were you excited about meeting? He said Cal Ripken Jr. Said he's been watching him and told him keep it going.
I don't think Starlin knows any different. He doesn't know any other way to play the game.
Ball 1. Cubs have won 6 in a row against the Marlins dating back to last year. Swing and a miss. Sanchez, 6 feet 205 pounds, from Maracay, Venezuela, 27 years old. So came over from the Red Sox with HANLEY Ramirez for Josh Beckett, Mike Lowell, and Guillermo Mota back in November of '05. That's one of those deals that worked out for both teams.
Yeah.
Helped the Red Sox win a World Series a couple of years later. The Marlins certainly happy to have Hanley Ramirez and the guy on the mound.
Let's go on, sir. Give it to a kid. Nicely done. Well, as good as Starlin Castro was in the first half of the season, Len, he's got some areas he needs to improve upon. Obviously, his defense on the routine plays, strike zone recognition, the ability to stay in that zone, because when opposing teams throw him strikes, he gets hits.
Bouncer to Sanchez. He'll underhand to Gaby Sanchez for the out. Follow all of tonight's stats and info in real time with Cubs in-game live only at CSNChicago.com. Brought to you by Honda. ARAMIS, as we mentioned on Sunday, was given an opportunity to be an all-star for the third time, but he chose family and rest instead, mainly because he found out on travel day. Just felt it was a little bit too late to make that decision, but if he had found out Saturday, he would have gone to Phoenix. As it is a very quick 1-2-3 for Anibal Sanchez. And a very special weekend. The Cubs are saluting Vietnam vets and are hosting a replica portion of the wall that heals, a replica of the Vietnam Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C. So it'll be here all weekend through Sunday. And there had to be a couple of hundred Vietnam veterans who were on the field and honored before the game. They got a rousing ovation. They met members of the Ricketts family. And really a special moment here at the ballpark.
I know, Len, we talked about it when we were in D.C., that Vietnam Memorial, one of the more moving tributes you will ever see. The further along you walk, the more names you see, the more overwhelming it becomes. And just great to honor those Vietnam vets here at the ballpark tonight.
So if you're coming out this weekend, make sure you check it out. It, by the way, was established in 1979, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund, and is dedicated to preserving the legacy of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. As 21-year-old Mike Stanton, the right fielder, steps in. 18 home runs. His first career home run was off Matt Garza when Garza was a Tampa Bay Ray. It was a grand slam on June 18th of last year. 2 balls, no strikes. Garza with 4 career starts, 3-1, but a high ERA of over 5 when he was with Tampa. Big swing and a miss. We'll see a few swings and misses this weekend, but he's hoping to mix in a few home runs with the whiffs.
Well, that last pitch is exactly where you should go after, Mike Stan. That fastball up above the belt. For me, he's a really good breaking ball hitter, especially if that pitch stays up in the strike zone, either a curveball, a changeup, a slider, something off speed up in the zone. He can hit it as far as anybody in the game. Has a little trouble catching up to that high heat, and Matt Garza has some high heat.
There goes the bat. Look out, man, that thing went flying. And I think everybody's all right as Stanton strikes out. Well, a lot of times when the bat flies out of the hands of a batter, it's got a little hang time. That one did not. That was a line drive, so to speak.
Yeah. Came on a high fastball up and out of the zone. Stanton just completely loses the grip on the bat, and that's one of the faster bat tosses we've ever seen up into the stands. Fortunately, Cub fans paying attention over there on the third base side. Everybody looks to be okay.
Ball one to Mike Cameron, who was acquired by the Marlins from Boston on July 5th after he was designated for assignment. Really struggled with the Red Sox, and he is now playing for Jack McKeon for the second time in his career. He was with the Reds under Jack in 1999. I think one of the thoughts for the Marlins, and I think the number one thing is they want Cameron to be productive, but you've got Morrison in left, you have Stanton in right. The Marlins hope those two guys are in those positions for a long time, and Mike Cameron's a pretty good guy to teach them the ropes.
He's still a superior defender even at this stage of his career. Covers a lot of ground in the outfield, and if he has lost a half a step or maybe a full step, he makes up for it with his experience, how he positions himself, how he moves with the count to make sure that he's always in the best possible defensive position.
Got under it on the 3-1. Darwin Barney with the grab and the out.
Saturday is Culver's Day at Wrigley Field as the Cubs take on these Marlins at 12:05. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Cubs hat. Compliments of Culver's. Get Culverized.
I'm always up for that.
Oh, yeah.
John Buck, the catcher, with 10 home runs. Batting with 2 outs, nobody on. Garza got behind Stanton 2-0, and he got behind in the count 3-1 to Cameron and retired both. A little sunshine coming through the grandstand. 72 degrees as we got started. Generally, you can't make a living getting down 2-0 to every batter, but Garza has stuff that's good enough to do it. Let's see if he can do it for the third time this inning. 2-1.
Now, not a way you want to work your way through most lineups in the big league, falling behind every hitter, but Garza's been able to make a big pitch when he's needed to so far in the early part of this game.
3-1. The pitcher, Sanchez, is on deck.
Which is why this is a big out right here. Anytime you've got that number 8 hitter at the plate with 2 outs, that pitcher in the on deck circle, you'd love to see Anibal Sanchez leading off the third for the Marlins. They have to make a good pitch here. 3-1 to John Buck. And he's able to do that. Gets the foul ball, running the count to full. Missing off the plate inside 3 times, but able to execute good pitches when he's come back 2-0 and 3-1.
Buck was an all-star last year with the Blue Jays and parlayed that into a 3-year contract with the Marlins over the winter. Nice play on the short hop by Ramirez. So Garza goes 1-2-3 in the second. But you don't have to remember it to love it. Prices and participation may vary for a limited time, a la carte only. Beautiful night. Some cloud cover, but a little sun here at the end of the day. Only night game of this series. That sun will be not an issue here in probably about 15-20 minutes.
Not an issue on the field whatsoever at this particular juncture. Occasionally that first baseman will get beamed in the eye on pickoff attempts when the sun drops a little further down in the west, but right now everybody appears to be okay.
Strong finish to the first half for Carlos Pena. We talked about it a lot. No home runs in the month of April. He's hit 19 since May 3rd. He's done most of his damage against righties. One changeup in the dirt. Now 5th on the board. It's Berkman leading the way. On his hands, a ball and 2 strikes.
That's when you're trying to get out of the way of, but the bat got out there far enough, made contact, pitch well off the plate up and in. That's our Galaxy official remodeler of the Cubs pitch tracks. That fastball from Sanchez running up and in. Yeah, the amazing thing about Carlos Pena, he leads the club with 49 walks this season. He didn't strike out this time. He swings at a lot of first pitches. He's in the hole 0-1 an awful lot, but manages to battle in his at bat, either get a base on balls, hit the ball hard somewhere. Unfortunately, this time swings through strike 3.
Hey, great to see Rudy Jaramillo back with the team. He left the ball club in Pittsburgh last weekend. His mom was ill. She's feeling a lot better, and he was able to spend about a week with her during the All-Star break. So good to see Rudy back, and good to know that mom's doing better. Marlon Byrd looks at a strike. Still wearing the protection, the extension on that helmet after the multiple facial fractures at Fenway Park, which cost him 6 weeks. Well, Mike Cameron certainly can relate. He had a nasty collision when he was a New York Met with Carlos Beltran back in 2005 in San Diego. Lots of broken bones. He had surgery, missed the rest of the season.
Yeah, that was a bad one. Both guys going full speed, neither one giving ground at all. Just good to see both guys survive that collision.
Slider was up 1-2. How was Florida? Like to spend some extra time watching the Daytona Cubs and your son Michael.
It was hot and humid.
That's drilled out to deep left center. Marlon Byrd gone into the front row of the bleachers. Nice grab by that young Cub fan. And the Cubs lead 1-0. I think we found the secret to pitching tonight, Bob. Get behind. Garza got behind everybody, got him out. That was a 1-2 pitch.
Yeah, 94-mile-an-hour heater on the inside part of the plate, down a little bit. Nice quick swing by Marlon Byrd. For Anibal Sanchez, that's a 12th home run he surrendered this year. He gave up 10 all of last season.
Byrd with 4 hits against the Fish this year, and they've all 3 have been home runs. Hit a couple in that series in Miami. Kept it under the wind. And you know what? That's his first home run since May 19th. So it's the first time he's gone deep since he returned from the DL. It has to feel good.
Well, sometimes that's all it takes to really get yourself rolling. Just that one swing at one pitch, catch it right on the barrel of the bat. Hard line drive into those bleachers in left center field. Hopefully he'll remember how that felt next time up to the plate.
Soriano chased a bad one for strike 3.
The one and only Sir Paul McCartney is coming to Wrigley Field on Sunday, July 31st and Monday, August 1st. Treat your best customers and guests to the ultimate VIP experience in a private suite at the friendly confines for these historic shows. Mezzanine suites are limited and available now. Call 773-404-4200 for more details and to book your suite today.
Giovanni Soto. We saw the bobblehead when we started our broadcast tonight. And you got a bobblehead night, you got to get at least one hit.
His bobblehead is nodding yes right now. Spanks that fastball right back up the middle of the field, up and out over the plate, sends it right back where it came from.
Comes Darwin Barney, who has gotten comfortable in a spot that's not easy to get comfortable in. I don't think he'd prefer to hit 8 the rest of his career, but for now it's worked out pretty well. He's 10 for his last 17. Just to finish up your Florida Odyssey, it was hot. That's not surprising.
Hot and humid, had rain showers every afternoon. You're very familiar with those. But it was fun. Jackie Robinson Stadium down in Daytona, Florida, one of the old school ballparks in all of baseball. Really a fun place to go watch a game. Got to see Front Row Joe hang the number for his 1,110th consecutive Daytona Cubs home game.
Now, were you able to see the shuttle launch? I think we were in Pittsburgh, so you might have already been in Florida.
You know, we had just landed at the Daytona airport, Len, and we saw everybody looking kind of in the southern skies, and it was a heavy overcast morning. We couldn't really see anything, but we tried along with everybody else at the Daytona airport.
Canaveral not too far from there. Here's the 2-1, and it's low. 3-1. Garza's on deck. Sanchez doesn't want to give in here, considering how hot Barney was to end the first half, and Garza hasn't done much at the plate in his career. Just 1 for 42. Three and two. Limited schedule as we restart the season. 7 games around baseball, including just 3 in the National League, including the Brewers and the Rockies. See if K-Rod gets into the game tonight. Milwaukee making an interesting trade during the break. Soto goes on the 3-2 and Barney turns on it.
Well, and backing up just a pitch there, I think that was a good take by Darwin Barney on the 3-1 count. The chances of him picking on a 3-1 fastball and hitting it out of the ballpark are pretty slim. So he takes the 3-1 pitch for a strike to run the count to full. Giovanni Soto will be on the move. If Darwin Barney would happen to find a gap or hit a ball down the line, Gio could possibly score from first base.
Takes off again on this 3-2, and Barney's late as he strikes out. Marlon Byrd with his first homer in a couple of months. And the Cubs lead 1-0. Out Blackhawks convention. Go to facebook.com/CSN Chicago. Simply like our page, then click the Win Tickets to the Hawks Convention tab, and you're entered to win 2 weekend passes. Only from your home for Blackhawks hockey, Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Great to have with us our good friend, all the way from Mesa, Arizona, the Ho-Ho-Coms represented by Chief Big Ho, Walter Bud Page. Bud, great to have you here at Wrigley Field. Nice to see you.
It's great to see you. You bet. You bet.
And it's a little cool here for you. I know it's a little warmer in Phoenix right now, but when we're there for spring training, it feels about like this, doesn't it?
It really does, yes. Weather couldn't be better for spring training for the Chicago Cubs. You bet.
Absolutely.
I know we're not giving away any state secrets here because a lot of Cub fans make the trek down to Mesa every spring, but can't recommend it any more highly. Just a tremendous experience. What you and all the rest of the Ho-Ho-Coms do in spring training for the fans that come in there, not to mention what you do for the team, and it's greatly appreciated.
Well, we are greatly appreciated to be your guest out here at Wrigley Field and the Chicago Cubs. We have, I think, about 46 of the Ho-Cams in the batter's eye, and Chris and Pat are our servers out there, and they're just doing a great service and a great job for us.
Now, how many members of the Ho-Ho-Coms in general? I know they didn't all come here this weekend, but
we have 75 active and then we have about 175 that are life members. That means they've been in the whole cams for 15 years and then have reached that age of 55 and plus.
Okay.
Good.
2 strikes on the pitcher. On a ball, Sanchez. Make it 3. Struck him out. Strikeout for Matt Garza. A little photo opportunity. Nothing like being not only at Wrigley but on Wrigley Field.
Oh, look at that. Who is that guy?
Ceremonial pitch.
If you noticed, I only skipped it 1 time. Last year I skipped it twice, so they call me Skippy for all the rest of the time we were here.
We're getting closer.
Yes.
This year will be in the air. For
You
sure.
bet.
See, Bud, you have to tell them it was an 0-2 pitch and you wanted to waste a breaking ball in the dirt. That way they'll think you did exactly what you wanted to do.
Yes. They told me that nobody's going to hit my pitches, so that's it.
Cubs have been in Mesa now for next year. It'll be what, 60 years, right?
60 years.
52.
Yes. And we're really looking forward to the new stadium that is coming to Mesa, Arizona, and to have the Cubs there for, we hope, 30 plus years.
It's been a great relationship. There's no doubt about that. And their 0-2 count here. Garza, we mentioned, got behind 3 straight hitters in the 2nd inning with no damage done. 1 and 2. Now, did you experience the dust storm? Did you get through that okay recently?
We did, and we were on the 202 and the 101, and it was just boiling. You could not believe. A couple of friends have sent us some pictures of that, and it just turned black, and it was like you couldn't believe how all of a sudden there was just no sun and no light at all there.
Strange phenomenon. That goes 3-1, 2 down. Speaking of the 101 and the 202, right near there is where the new stadium site is.
That is. And they're working on the plans, they're working on the architectural drawings for that, and we're hoping to get things settled in the near future.
You know, with the new ballpark on East Scottsdale, where the Rockies and Diamondbacks train, you have the Giants in downtown Scottsdale, you have the Angels in Tempe, the A's in Phoenix. You're going to have 6 or 7 spring training sites all within about 10 minutes.
That is correct.
That's another reason to come down to spring training. You can follow the Cubs all over the valley and you don't have to drive very far.
That's right. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. And we lost a few fans. There was some interest in looking at the new stadium, and with the Giants winning the World Series. But our fans, our Cub fans, are loyal, and we appreciate everything that they come out to our spring training games.
2-0 on Omar Infante. Garza working with a 1-0 lead on the Marlon Byrd home run. Now, how long are you in town?
We arrived yesterday around 2. There's several of the whole cams that are going back tomorrow. I'm sorry, Saturday. We're coming to the game tomorrow also. And then my wife and I are staying for Saturday's game because we just love to watch the Chicago Cubs play baseball in Wrigley Field.
Nothing better. 3-0 on Infante with Sanchez on deck. In the middle, 3-1.
Well, Bud, I think we're all looking forward to the new ballpark down in Mesa, but I have to say that the old ballpark held up pretty well. You know, through all the renovations and the remodeling and adding more seats every year, I still think it was a great place to watch a ball game in spring training.
I think one of the reasons was, the fans were so close to the Cubs as well as the visitor team, and they could associate just being nearer than further away from all of the players. So I think it was really great, Bob. I really did.
First walk of the night. Garza. So Infante's on here. Sanchez with 2 down. I think we have an opening day date just yet, but probably late February, and Knowing that spring training schedule is out, I circle the calendar and I get my flight scheduled. I can't wait to go.
There we go.
February's tough here, bud. You want to come on up like February 15th, spend the weekend here in Chicago, and can help me shovel my driveway? Mesa starts to sound really, really appetizing at that point.
We usually bring 8 to 10 of the whole cans out for the annual convention in January.
We always get a big snowstorm that weekend.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And we enjoy the weather like it is today. When we landed yesterday at the airport, somebody said, golly, it looks so much different than it does here in January.
It's inside. 1-1.
Well, even the ballpark here, Bud, transforms over the course of the season. When we start the season, there's no ivy on the outfield walls, but seems like every year we leave for a road trip, and when we come back, it's in full bloom.
Full bloom.
Beautiful green, yeah.
Listening to Mike Quade talk to the media today, he was very impressed with the city of Phoenix. Hosted the All-Star game. Views were very good.
Yes. And Mike did a fantastic job. When they introduced him, I think he almost got a standing ovation, so it was great.
2-2 with 2 down here in the third. The National League has now won a couple in a row, so NL will have home field advantage in the World Series. Runner goes as Sanchez fouls off. Infante was on the move. Had you watched a game from the batter's eye before tonight?
This will be our 3rd year in the batter's eye, and we thoroughly enjoy it out there. It's always nice to have several of the the owners and the other gentlemen come out and visit us. It's like old home week because most of them we associate with in the spring training, and then to see them here at Wrigley Field, it's just really a pleasure.
Blocked by Soto as Infante was not going. He will, however, on this 3-2 offering.
You know, the good thing about that batter's eye, Bud, is you get a great view of home plate and the strike zone. You can help umpire from out there.
We, on a couple of occasions, Bob, wish that we could.
3-2 with 2 outs. Infante will go this time for sure. Swing and a miss to end the inning. Walter Bud Page, a cheap big ho for the Mesa Ho-Ho-Cons. Thanks for stopping by and enjoy your weekend. All right, Bud?
Okay, thank you very much, Lynn. Appreciate it. Bob, always good to see you.
Good. Thank you. Trivia question. Name the team that overcame the largest deficit from first place at the All-Star break to win its division. Answer coming up. Mentioned Jack McKeon as Matt Garza leads off the Cubs third. Big swing and a miss 0-2. Second oldest manager in the history of baseball at 80. Connie Mack managed until he was 87. Garza goes down quietly. Fourth strikeout for Anibal Sanchez. They call him Trader Jack. He's been a GM. He's done just about everything. Last job was special advisor with the Marlins, but he began his managerial career back with Kansas City in the 1970s. This is his 60th year in pro baseball. He's a two-time NL Manager of the Year. In 03, he was the oldest manager ever at 72 to reach the postseason. Chatting with hitting coach Eduardo Perez on his left, and on his right, Harry Hill, the first base coach.
He got that gold watch just in case he ever does decide to retire. Go ahead and give it to him now.
I talked to Jack briefly before the game. He said, I feel better than I did when I did this the first time, and I'll be honest, he looks better. Looks healthier. And you've run into Jack many times, Bob. He doesn't look 80. He doesn't sound 80.
Oh, no. Doesn't act 80.
He doesn't act 80. As Kosuke lifts one in the air. Now, the one thing I would say, and this does date him a little bit, we might have to work on him. I joked with him. I said, Jack, I've been emailing you all week. You haven't responded. He has said his computer is between my ears.
Okay.
But you know what? Jim Leland is the same way. Jack said he doesn't send email or texts. He'll read them and delete them. If you want to talk to me, you got to call me. When the Marlins got kicked out of their home ballpark because of the U2 concert recently, he commented, quote, I don't know about U2, Jiffy Lube, or any of them. And I'm just trying to figure out which #1 hit Jiffy Lube had. And then he added the Beach Boys. Now that's a band I'd be interested in watching. Of course, they started 50 years ago.
Do you think Jack comes down on batting average, balls in play, or ultimate zone rating?
I can't use the language on the air. 2 strikes on Castro, who's 59 years younger than Jack McKeon. But then again, so is his right fielder, Mike Stanton. Fouled straight back. Well, we showed you the numbers. They've been better since he took over. 11-8. After one of the worst months you could ever have. I would ask you if you'll be in baseball when you're 80, but I have a feeling I know what your answer will be. But I'll let you answer it yourself. Will you be in baseball when you're 80?
I'll be watching baseball when I'm 80. Hopefully I get to 80.
That cue shot was dropped by Sanchez, but he recovers in time to get the out. Cubs go down 1-2-3. They lead 1-0 after 3.
more with the KFC 10-piece family feast, just $20.
Len and Bob and our CSN crew from Wrigley Field. 1-0 Marlon Byrd with a second inning home run as Matt Garza prepares for the fourth. He'll face Hanley Ramirez, Logan Morrison, and Mike Stanton. Ramirez has been hot since he moved to the cleanup spot in the Marlins batting order. He was hitting 200 on the season before he was put in that fourth spot. He's at 369 with 4 homers and 20 RBIs in 18 games since. Leads the majors in RBIs during that span.
He may be hitting in the 4th spot in this Marlins lineup, but he acts as a leadoff hitter when he leads off an inning because he's got great speed. He can steal a base, find ways to get on, jumpstart that Marlins offense.
Slider strike. Starlin Castro aspires to be as consistent as Hanley Ramirez. At some point grew up idolizing Hanley Ramirez, believe it or not. He's not old. Ramirez is 27. See what he's done here in the month of July. 3-time All-Star. He's won 2 Silver Sluggers. The batting title in 09. Rookie of the Year back in 06.
His effort has occasionally been called into question by former managers and teammates. At every turn he comes back very contrite, apologizes, and goes back out and gets busy. But we'd like to see those little spells of lack of effort eliminated. It's really the only thing that separates Hanley Ramirez from being a tremendous superstar. He's a star player, no question about it. If you could get that consistent effort on a daily basis, however, you would have something special.
Floated out into shallow center, and Barney will make the grab for the out on the broken bat pop-up. Time to answer our AT&T trivia question. The team that overcame the largest deficit from first at the All-Star break to win its division. It's not the 03 Marlins. They didn't win the division. They won the wild card. It's the 1978 New York Yankees, 11.5 back of Boston. Florida was 13 behind and made the playoffs. But they were only 4.5 behind the wild card lead. That's how they were able to get in. '78, Bucky Dent, right? The big home run at Fenway Park for the Yankees.
Red Sox fans add another name to the Bucky Dent.
A middle name.
Yeah. Which I'm pretty sure is not his middle name, but
yeah, I never looked it up.
it will forever be such for the Red Sox fans.
Two 2-0 on Morrison. Well, 3-0 with Mike Stanton on deck. Ryan Dempster will go tomorrow against Ricky Nolasco. Carlos Zambrano comes off the DL Saturday and faces Javier Vasquez. Randy Wells, Chris Volstad on Sunday, as Morrison takes ball 4.
Fielder number 27, STANTON.
21-year-old Mike Stanton, 6'5", 233, as chiseled as any baseball player probably playing today. I mean, he's huge.
And he's still a little bit rough around the edges. Parts of his game will smooth out. He will become a more consistent hitter. He has just unbelievable power when he makes solid contact, but he can be pitched to at this stage of his career.
All-Star break didn't seem to cool off the Blue Jays offense. They scored 8 runs in the first and knocked Bartolo Colon of the Yankees out of the game after he got just 2 outs. It was 9-0 in the second inning. Now it's 9-7 as the Yankees are coming back. Andrew Jones with 2 home runs in that game.
Take a look on our Galaxy pitch tracks. 95-mile-an-hour heater just below the knees. Pretty close pitch.
In the hole, it's going to sneak past Castro for a base hit. First hit for the Marlins since they had back-to-back singles to start the game.
We talked about his prodigious power. Even when he mishits a ball, it gets through the infield in a hurry. Top spin grounder that time on a slider away. Sneaks it through into left field for a base hit. That's the thing about those strong power hitters like Stanton. When he squares it up and catches the ball just right, he hits those towering 500-foot home runs. But even when he mishits the ball, it still shoots through the infield quickly, or line drives tend to get into the gaps quickly. Ball really jumps off of his bat.
Inside to Cameron. In the dirt that time. 2-0. Garza's been flirting with danger here with these 2-0, 3-1 counts. So far it hasn't hurt him. When we talk about improvement in pretty much every area, I think the place you start is starting pitching. That's why, you know, Garza, Dempster, Zambrano, 1, 2, 3. You hope those are the guys who give you deep quality outings. If not every time out, close to that. You'd like to see Randy Wells get more consistent. Rodrigo Lopez will remain in the 5th spot in the rotation. Ramon Ortiz available out of the bullpen. That takes so much pressure off every other area. Bullpen, the offense. 3-1. You just cannot win consistently for any length of time without consistent starting pitching.
Well, truer words never spoken. It just puts pressure on every other aspect of the game. A lot of traffic on bases, pressure on the defense, pressure on your offense to come back in ball games. Constantly getting into that bullpen, overtaxing those guys. You really need those starters to start getting deeper into the ball game, keeping that pitch count down.
3 walks over the last 2 innings for Garza, so Mark Riggins is out as John Buck will bat with 3 on. Watch Comcast Sportsnet game replays on demand with Xfinity TV from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Now Matt Garza looking for that double play ground ball, and he's got a good candidate at the plate in John Buck. Only Gabby Sanchez has grounded into more double plays this year than John Buck.
Or AT&T U-verse multi-view as the Marlins have the bases loaded for the first time tonight. About 2, 5, 4, 3 to end the inning. So Garza dials up the 5-4-3 and the Cubs still lead 1-0. Taking care of that infield dirt in between innings.
We talk about the players recharging their batteries over the All-Star break. Same thing could be said for the surface here at Wrigley Field, getting a few days off. Grounds crew taking immaculate care of this ballpark. Field has never looked better.
It's going to be a busy homestand covering 10 games in 11 days. The guy who started the inning-ending 5-4-3 double play, RAMIREZ, will lead off the Cubs' fourth. Falco upcoming schedule after this weekend. First place Phillies come to town for a 3-game series. Off day next Thursday, and then the Astros. This will be caught by Infante for the first out.
First baseman PENA.
Other action on this Thursday night. Cleveland starting the second half, a half game back of Detroit. The Tigers will host the White Sox tomorrow night. Cleveland leading at Baltimore 8-4 in the top of the 7th. Asdrubal Cabrera, Carlos Santana, each with home runs in that one. Kansas City leads Minnesota 2-0 in the 4th. Milwaukee and the Rockies 1-1 in Denver in the 2nd. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Giovanni Gallardo and Ubaldo Jimenez matching up in that one. Brewers tied with St. Louis atop the Central. Pittsburgh just one back. A little later, Texas at Seattle. Rangers a game up on the Angels in the AL West, and the Giants are in San Diego. San Francisco with a 3-game lead over Arizona. It's like John Buck's going to have a play. 2 outs.
27th Annual Cubs Convention will take place at the Hilton Chicago on January 13th, 14th, and 15th, 2012. Rooms are available now by calling the Hilton Chicago at 312-922-4400 and asking for the Cubs convention rate. Weekend passes will go on sale in early November. For more information, as always, visit Cubs.com.
How about this, Bob? The biggest lead in baseball, 3.5 games in the NL East. Phillies over the Braves. It's the biggest lead in any division. A lot of teams are still in it. The Cubs lead this one 1-0 because of this home run.
Fourth of the season for Marlon Byrd. Came on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball on a 2-strike count. Screaming line drive into those bleachers in left center field.
Would you believe this as Byrd takes a called third? The wild card races aren't real races at this point. 5-game lead for the Yankees in the AL and for the Braves in the NL. Guy stole your shirt. Get that thing back.
If you're the 500th texter, you could win 5 $5 footlong subs from Subway.
A lovely night here at Wrigley Field as the Cubs and the Marlins open up a 4-game weekend series. 9-1-2 for the visitors. Both these starting pitchers tonight have thrown a no-hitter. Sanchez against Arizona when he was 22 years old and a rookie back in 2006. Garza last year with Tampa Bay against Detroit. .89-mile-an-hour slider in the dirt. 1-2.
We've seen that fastball upwards to the mid-90s tonight. Hard slider. He tried to throw his curveball in that first inning, just didn't seem to have a real good feel for it, so he's gone more to the slider as the game has progressed.
Fastball that time. His 5th strikeout. Been among baseball's leaders in strikeouts per 9 innings all year. 4th currently, 9.38.
It's one of the things as a catcher, when you have a 4-pitch pitcher like Matt Garza, fast curve, slider, changeup, on a given night, one or more of those pitches may not be there as the game begins, but you don't just completely scrap it. You look for situations where, okay, if we try to throw a curveball right here and we miss with it, it's not going to hurt us. And try to continue to incorporate all 4 pitches if possible. On other nights, you may scrap it completely because the slider is so good tonight, we don't even need the curveball. So it just depends. A catcher has to keep a close eye on his pitcher out there on the mound and try to determine if you can incorporate all 4 pitches, or are you better off moving forward with 2 or 3.
Bonifacio would like to get Garza off the mound as he squared the bunt on that first pitch. You mentioned the throwing issues he's had.
It's a big part of Bonifacio's game anyway, trying to bunt for a base hit 6 times this year. He's bunted successfully for a base hit. I'm sure he's tried many more times.
Waves at strike 2. Bonifacio has 2 career home runs, but only 1 has actually gone over the fence. That was on May 1st at Cincinnati. The first one was an inside the Parker in 09. Outside 2-2.
Now, early in his career, Bonifacio was a guy that tried to hit home runs. He was a little man that didn't really take advantage of his best asset, his speed. But as his career has moved forward, he realized how important it is for him to hit the ball on the ground, keep the ball out of the air, put the pressure on the defense to throw you out.
The annual Ron Santo Golf Experience to find a cure for juvenile diabetes is coming up on July 25th at Kemper Lakes. As Ronnie would say, it's the best day of the summer. To purchase your foursome, call 773-248-8590, presented by PNC Bank. High chopper over the head of Ramirez. So Infante with a 2-out single. He's reached base all 3 times. 2 hits and a walk.
Just a hard ground ball off that dirt out in front of home plate. Ramirez was playing in, protecting against a bunt. That ball just bounds over his head into left field for a base hit. No chance for Starlin Castro, even if he gets to that ball, to throw from that position to get Infante at first.
You might remember last year Infante, when he was with the Braves, made the NL All-Star team as a utility player. Very hard to do. He is now entrenched as the Marlins second baseman, replacing Dan Uggla, the guy he was traded for. Slider strike. Gabby Sanchez for his hometown team. He was a catcher in college at the University of Miami. The next time this Marlins team is at Wrigley Field, it will be the Miami Marlins. Part of their deal to build a new stadium down near the old Orange Bowl, they will change the name of the team to the Miami Marlins. A trend for a while. You had the California Angels, teams in Minnesota. All the major franchises there, the Minnesota whatevers. The Florida Marlins.
We used to call them the Florida Fish. You won't have the same ring now.
Right.
A Miami fish.
Patriots, they cover a whole region. New England. Golden State Warriors. Runner goes on the 3-1. A fly ball to right. Kosuke made a little turn to the right to come in. Able to make the catch on the move to win the inning. 2-out single, no runs. Midway in the fifth. 1-zip Cubs. Cap, thank you. As Alfonso Soriano jumps on the first pitch. Morrison in left for out number 1. Got a question for you, partner, regarding the All-Star game. Brought it up a little bit over the weekend. The new rule, which prohibits pitchers who start on Sunday from being active on Tuesday. I think it was Cole Hamels of the Phillies. He was chomping at the bit to pitch. He said, "This is my throw day." Guys really only go 1 inning anymore. I'm not sure I like that rule, and I think it would stave off some of the critics who say there are too many All-Star replacements as it is.
And there's a groundswell building to move the All-Star game back to the Wednesday of the break, so you could include those pitchers who start on Sunday. Maybe they only come in to face a hitter, or as you said, maybe pitch 1 inning.
Maybe you limit those guys to 1 inning.
Yeah, and it does cut way down on the amount of replacement players. I mean, what do we have? Upwards to 80 guys.
84 total All-Stars. And with the 34-man rosters, it's 68. So it's 16 on the roster who originally weren't supposed to be. Well, as I mentioned, there are only 7 games tonight. That's foul off the bat of Soto. So to have everybody start the second half on a Friday, play that game on Wednesday, doesn't seem like it'd be the worst thing in the world. But when we're named co-commissioners, oh man. Deep to center is Mike Cameron. Can't make the catch on a ball over his head, and Soto has a double. He's 2 for 2 on his bobblehead night.
Bobblehead continues to shake his head, yes. That ball really fooled Mike Cameron in center field. You rarely see him take a bad line to a ball, but he really got fooled by how hard this ball was hit off the bat of Giovanni Soto. Really got turned around out there at the warning track, just stuck his glove up in a futile attempt to hope that the ball hit the glove. Short hops the Vines. Geo in with a 1-out double. Maybe Cameron was expecting that ball to get knocked down a little bit more than it did. The wind continues to blow straight in from center field. Yeah, Mike Cameron has played some games in this ballpark and probably was expecting that wind to have more of an effect on that drive.
One and one on Darwin Barney. By the way, I'm told the home run derby finally ended about 2 minutes ago. Wow. I heard the derby was longer than the game.
I think you're probably right. Yeah.
Everybody went home with a souvenir Monday night. Pretty neat. Robinson Cano won it. His dad, in a brief major league career, was his pitcher. 1 and 2. The first round of the Derby was an hour 40. Whew. All-Star game was under 3 hours.
I thought the game itself was one of the better All-Star games from a competitive point of view in a while. We got to see a lot of defensive plays, got to see some good base running, some power hitting, and a whole boatload of real good pitching.
And Prince Fielder was the MVP. Hit the game-winning home run. He was booed mercilessly. Going back to the home run derby, he was the NL captain. He did not pick Arizona Diamondback Justin Upton. The fans let him hear about it. Foul tip, strike 3. Watch the Cubs take on these Marlins Sunday at 1:20 at Wrigley Field. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans get a Cubs pennant. Compliments of Storage Wars. Season 2 premieres Wednesday, July 20th, only on A&E. For more info and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Getting back to the All-Star game just for a moment, Len, you know how I feel about this. If you're going to make the game so important that home field advantage in the World Series is decided by what has been an exhibition game forever, I still feel you ought to let the manager pick the entire roster.
I like Mike Quaddy's idea of having a third base coach. Maybe all the coaches, but third base pretty important. Have that be a vote among managers and coaches around baseball if the game does count. And you could say, you know, here's a 3-time All-Star third base coach. Whomever. Two bouncer to Gaby, who gets it to Anibal Sanchez for the final out. Soto with a double. The Cubs don't score. They lead 1-0. Sportsnet Central coming up tonight after post-game live. We'll spin around MLB. Also British Open highlights. Join Mark and Sarah for GMC Sportsnet Central tonight after post-game live only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Matt Garza working with a 1-0 lead.
Hey fans, next time you want to catch a Cubs game, head to StubHub, where you'll find the seats you want and the freedom to choose where you want to sit. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Chicago Cubs. For more information, visit Cubs.com/StubHub.
What a gorgeous night here at the ballpark. Cubs looking to beat Florida for the 7th consecutive time. And the Ramirez flying to the warning track in deep left center. Popped out to second. Here we go in the 6th. Fastball outside corner. South Carolina, maybe?
Maybe that's for Starlin Castro. Maybe he's just a big Starlin Castro fan.
Kind of interesting. I'm pretty sure Soto's first sign was a fastball away. Garza shook off every other sign. Then time was called. Garza stepped off. Soto put down the same sign. He said, okay. Was that one, Bob, where the catcher just says, this is what I want you to throw? And then the pitcher finally agrees?
Or Garza had second thoughts about throwing that particular pitch. A lot of times a catcher, if he's pretty sure that the fastball away is the right pitch, let's say, for example, he'll call fastball away. If the pitcher shakes it off and you're sure it's the right pitch, call for it again. And if he shakes it off a second time, now you defer to the pitcher because the ball is in his hands. Now, if you really feel strongly and it's a critical juncture of the game, then you have to go out and talk to the pitcher and find out what he's thinking about.
You saw there, he flashed about 12 signs. He gave him every sign at least once. Some of them twice. He picked the changeup, 3-1.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I caught a lot of pitchers in my career that they shook off just because. There wasn't any particular reason. If I hung down a sign, it was almost like, well, if you're calling that pitch, that's not the right one. I'm going to shake to something else. I hated to catch those guys. You see, spend all kinds of time in preparation for a game, going over an opposing lineup as that ball is lifted high in the air to Kosuke Fukudome and right. Should be no problem. First out of the inning.
I am just amazed at how often he's gotten behind in the count and has gotten outs.
Well,
I bet 5 or 6 hitters have gotten into a 2-0 or 3-1 count and then flied lazily to the outfield.
Well, certainly it's not the way to go about pitching against any major league lineup, but if you can execute good pitches on those 2-0, 3-1 counts, you can still get some easy outs, and so far that's been the case with Matt Garza today. He's fallen behind, but then when he's needed to make a pitch, he's been able to throw quality strikes in hitters' counts.
0-1 to Morrison. Very outspoken, popular guy on Twitter. Back on the curveball, and that ball takes Barney almost all the way to first base. It'll go 4-3. When ARAMIS Ramirez wants Chicago's best prime steaks, he heads to Harry Carey's Italian Steakhouse in Chicago, Lombard or Rosemont. Call 773 Holy Cow or visit harrycareys.com today. Mike Stanton has struck out and singled. Joe Espada is a smart man.
Based on experience, I'm sure he's had to dodge a few bullets down there at third base when Mike Stanton's been in that right-handed batter's box, so he just positions himself as far away from home plate as he possibly can, which is fine with nobody on base. But now it's a completely different story when you have some traffic out there on the bases. He needs to be in a position where he can pick up those base runners as they round second. That means he's going to have to move back closer to that third base coach's box.
Curveball in the dirt, 2-1. Blue Jays now pulling away from the Yankees again, 13-7. They're in the top of the 8th. Jose Bautista out of the game. He has a twisted right ankle day to day. That trade the Mets and Brewers made, Francisco Rodriguez heading to Milwaukee. So Bobby Parnell, Pedro Beato, and Jason Isringhausen will be the closer by committee for the Mets. Deep to right center. Kosuke going after it, and he makes a catch right in front of the door in deep right center. Nicely done by Kosuke. Cubs maintain their 1-0 lead. Stanton of extra bases and end the top of the 6th.
And we saw Kosuke take kind of a funny line on a ball earlier in the game. He was still able to make the catch, and this time he took a great line right to the spot in front of the door out there in deep right center field to make a great running catch. He had to have a good line to that ball because it was hit extremely hard.
Pitcher's best friend. Kosuke again got off to a great start in April. He hit .383, but the OPS has gone down a little bit every month. That's been a trend we've seen over the course of his major league career. The Ryder Cup is coming to Chicago September 25th through the 30th, 2011 at Medina. To be included in a random draw to purchase tickets and a chance to see Team USA versus Team Europe, go to RyderCup.com. Sanchez with a pitch in the dirt on a slider, and Kosuke was able to hold. Going to Phil Cuzzy. Why? Because he said so.
Because he said so. That's right. Yeah, he was able to check.
Pop up near third. Bonifacio in foul territory.
Hey fans, how'd you like to hear the stories about legendary Wrigley Field from the players who lived them firsthand? Well, now you have that chance. Take a tour led by former Cub greats like Billy Williams, Fergie Jenkins, Doug Glanville, or Ernie Banks. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Castro, the youngest All-Star in Chicago Cubs history. 2 stolen bases. He came in as a pinch runner, tied an All-Star game record. Last guy to steal 2 in the All-Star game was Kenny Lofton of the Indians in 1996.
And in the second stolen base, when Starlin went from second to third, a lot of people wondered why it wasn't a wild pitch. The pitch was in the dirt, but because he was running on the pitch, he's credited with a stolen base. Had he held his ground at second until the ball got past the catcher and then advanced to third, then it's either a wild pitch or a pass ball. But because he was running on the play, he was credited with his second stolen base.
Rising fastball, got a swing and miss, 3-2. Ramirez on deck.
Of course, Castro was thrown out at home plate on a ground ball to the left side of the infield. Nice play by the Angels closer to throw him out at the dish. That was just one of those contact plays. Occasionally that's going to happen.
Cameron for the second out. These 2 starters have been really good tonight. Sanchez, 1 mistake. That was the BYRD homer in the second inning. It's the only run to this point. Ramirez swings away. Stanton will camp underneath. And the Cubs go 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. Off to the 7th. Cubs 1, Florida nothing. the Marlins in an afternoon matchup here at the Friendly Confines. Coverage starts at 11:30 with Chevy Cubs pregame live. We'll have the first pitch at noon. Cubs and Marlins Saturday at 11:30, only on your home for Cubs baseball. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Matt Garza working into the 7th tonight after the shortest start of his Cubs career. His last time out, we see some action in the Marlins pen. They're going to pinch hit, it appears, for Anibal Sanchez, who's due up 3rd here in the Florida 7th. That might depend on what happens to the first 2 batters, starting with Mike Cameron. Tapper foul behind the plate. Got a right-hander, Steve Cishek.
Seashells down by the seashore.
He lives in the Sea Shack. Bird in center.
On that note, let's take a look at tonight's Coors Light Freeze Cam. John Buck making his way to the plate, nearly injured himself. Watch the bat. Drops it behind his back. It wraps around and ends up in the baseline, and he steps on it with his right foot as he's trying to get out of that batter's box. Got to be careful. Freeze Cam is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Sanchez is jumping into the on-deck circle, but Buck reaches. Will likely be removed for a pinch hitter. Cishek up just in case. There's a foul out of play. Musician Patrick Stump, former lead singer of Fall Out Boy and a Glenview, Illinois native, will conduct the 7th inning stretch tonight. One and one the count. Great Hall of Fame broadcaster from St. Louis. I guess his name was John Buck, right? Jack?
Go crazy, folks.
We will see you tomorrow night.
John Buck, that's a good catcher's name.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. It seems to be getting better as the night has gone on.
That high fastball has been a real good pitch for him tonight. That one out of the strike zone, up and in, but so tempting to a hitter. It's very tough to lay off of, very tough to catch up to.
Mac McKeon's going to let his starter bat with 2 outs and nobody on. Floats it out into shallow right for a base hit. Kosuke was thinking about trying to throw to first, but did not have a play.
Cue shot right off the end of the bat, just past Darwin Barney in front of Kosuke, who was playing very shallow out there in right field. Couldn't throw it out there any better than that. I guess a lot of left-handed hitters, you would play Carlos Pena behind the pitcher running at first base, but not with Emilio Bonifacio, who, as we talked about earlier, could bunt for a base hit at any time. So Pena going to play even with the bag and then charge a few steps in front to try to take the bunt away from the Marlins third baseman.
Marlon Byrd playing pretty deep out in center. Guard against a gapper. Take them 2 hits though to get a run with the pitcher at first, and Bonifacio doesn't have home run power at the plate.
On our Galaxy pitch tracks.
That's a strike. Yep. 2-2.
That's that huge swing pitch we talk about, Len. That 1-1 pitch when the count either goes to 2-1 in the hitter's favor or 1-2 in the pitcher's favor. I say it all the time. You wonder why pitching coaches and managers and pitchers and catchers get upset on a 1-1 pitch, but that's a tremendous swing pitch in and at bat.
Full count, 3-2. Short lead by Sanchez. He takes off, and that one's hit foul.
Do that about 5 more times. Sanchez runs some wind sprints out there between first and second base before Bonifacio makes the last out.
There's the next one. To Pena, foul. Tried to pick it up in fair territory, but it was just a few inches foul.
Bonifacio far enough out in front of that pitch. No way it was going to stay fair. See Pena, his knees are almost in foul territory, reaches across the line to make the play, and both the home plate umpire James Hoy and the first base umpire Lance Barrett got it right.
That one's off the glove of Pena. Everybody's safe. First and second. Bonifacio 2 for 4. He stays hot, and both his hits have been infield hits.
Pena continued to hold on Sanchez over there at first base. Only able to get a glove on it and deflect it over toward Darwin. Barney not able to come up with it cleanly, and Mark Riggins going to make a trip to the mound here while the Cubs get their bullpen going.
Kind of an interesting point here too, Bob. Jack McKeon leaves his starter into bat with 2 outs, nobody on, no threat to score. He bloops one into right. Now he's a tying run at second. And remembering Jack the first time around with the Marlins, wouldn't be out of the question to see him remove Sanchez for a pinch runner. A couple of strong arms on the corners, so base hit here does not necessarily tie the game.
Well, the situation changes with each hitter that makes his way to the plate. As you said, with 2 outs, nobody on, he let the pitcher hit for himself. But now with an opportunity to possibly score the tying run, I agree with you. I wouldn't be surprised a bit to see Jack pull the plug on his pitcher out there at second base and put in a pinch runner.
A strike on Infante, who has singled twice and walked.
Earlier in the ball game, for obvious reasons, you try to save some of your bench. You know you're going to have some matchups late in the ball game where maybe you want to use some of your pinch hitters or pinch runners. maybe defensive replacements if you have a lead, but once you get to the later part of the ball game, do what you can to win. Nice play.
Just got him at first base. Patrick Stump with the stretch.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, musician and lead singer of the Grammy Award-winning band Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, so I'm just getting ready for all that. It's I've been home a lot and getting to do all these very amazing home things, you know.
You grew up a Cub fan?
Yeah. So North Side, you know. So.
Carlos Pena will lead off as the Cubs try to tack on, leading 1-0 here in the 7th. Sanchez still in there. She started a 2-out rally before being stranded at second base. The bullpens are quiet at the moment.
Patrick.
You have a favorite Cub?
That's a really hard question. I just remember when I was a little kid, my friends all idolized Ryan Sandberg so much, so it's kind of hard not to, you know, like that was like the superhero. You know?
Yeah, we hear Andre Dawson, Ryan Sandberg, Mark Grace. We hear that a lot.
I'm sure those are like the popular ones, you know.
I was going to ask you, Patrick, playing Lollapalooza, I'm sure you played a lot of the smaller clubs around town here. What's that like, playing in front of that kind of a mass of people?
You know, the weirdest thing is that, like, there's this cutoff after, I'd say after about 5,000 people where it all looks the same. Because we got to play halftime at Soldier Field one time, and that was, you know, it was like playing to like 100 people.
1-1 to Pena's inside on a fastball. Bird is on deck. Alfonso Soriano will also bat in this inning. Cubs lead on a second inning. Marlon Bird home run. That's it. It's in the dirt. We heard a little bit of your new single. When does the full album come out?
September, I think, late September. So.
Three and one. hit hard, but he pulled it foul.
I know you have a lot of Fallout Boy fans tuned in tonight. You guys just taking a little break, doing some solo stuff?
Yeah. You know, just we were on the road for 8 years, almost 9 at this. You know, at the time we kind of took a break, so it was time for a little relax. You know, pretty much straight out of high school I was working, so.
That is ball 4. So Pena is on with the leadoff walk. That's the first walk given up by Sanchez. Patrick, thanks for stopping by, man. Great job with the stretch.
Awesome.
Bob and I hope to be at Lollapalooza, so we'll definitely check it out, okay?
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
You should be on right after our game.
All right, thanks a lot.
Glenview native, Cub fan. We look forward to the new album. Soul Punk. With a new record, he'll be at the BMI stage 5 o'clock on August 6th at Lollapalooza. Shallow right, Infante will make the catch, and he just wheeled and fired toward first base. Not a bad play by a veteran, Omar Infante. Now Pena got back to the bag easily. Infante thought, why not? I'll just throw and see if Pena's a few steps off the base.
Occasionally you'll catch a guy, you know, just a few steps off the base, like you mentioned, as he sees the catch made and just turns around and starts walking back to the bag. Infante hoping to catch that situation with Carlos Pena, but Pena watching the play the whole time, able to get back to first easily.
A final at Rogers Center in Toronto. The Blue Jays beat the Yankees 16-7. Guess how many home runs they hit? None.
Really?
That's a home run hitting team. Yankees out homered them and lost. 20 hits for the Jays. Andrew Jones hit 2 home runs for the Yankees. (16-7) the final. 1-1 to Soriano, swung on and missed. 1-2. Base hit left field. By the way, Bob, we're late here. Jack McKeon's coming out. This is a 4-game series. Jack's going to make a change here. Don't be surprised if at some point during this series, with the count 2-0 or 1-1 or even 3-1, he'll come out and make a change. Not afraid to do it in the middle of an at bat. Steve Cishek will come in. It's a Verizon call to the pen. 1-0 Cubs in the 7th. Here's Steve Cishek, 6'6", 218, Massachusetts native. Put up really good numbers.
Opponents hitting only .210 against the Marlins right-hander. 21 punch-outs against 4 walks in 21 2/3 innings pitched. A little cup of coffee last year with the Marlins. Pitched in 3 ball games, a total of 4 1/3 innings. Gave up only 1 base hit.
Pinch runner, you see Tony Campana, bottom left there, that shot, running for Alfonso Soriano. Slings it up there, 94, 1-1. One nothing Cubs here in the 7th. Base hit into left. Pena's going to be held at third. And they're loaded. Giovanni Soto, honored with a bobblehead night, is 3 for 3.
Slider he saw from Cishek. He lines it into left field. That ball was hit so hard there was no chance for Ivan De Jesus to even think about waving Carlos Pena home. Base hit by Soto loads him up for Darwin Barney.
Oh, it hit him. He'll get an RBI out of it. That forces in the Cubs' second run of the night. It'll be Pena scoring. That run will be charged to the starter, Sanchez. Painful RBI for Darwin Barney.
Oh, man. Fortunately, Darwin turned away from that tailing fastball up and in. Looked like it caught him on the left shoulder blade, right at the top of the number 1 there.
And Blake DeWitt will bat, and he's been better against lefties than righties. However, Jack McKeon's going to go with the lefty Randy Choate. Bases loaded, a run in. Cubs leading 2-0. Jack getting a workout here in the 7th. The Verizon call to the pen. Randy Choate. See what lefties have done against him. Jeff Baker, not Blake DeWitt, will take the at bat. So DeWitt burned, as they say in the biz. We get the favorable matchup.
Sometimes that's what you have to do as a manager. It's the old bait and switch. You send the pinch hitter up there fully anticipating that the opposing manager is going to make the appropriate move, bring in the lefty to face Blake DeWitt, and now you get Jeff Baker on a left-handed pitcher, which is always desirable.
51 at bats against Randy Choate from the left side this year by opponents, only 13 by righties. So he is the definition of a specialist. One strike on Baker. A lot of that damage done against lefties.
As you can see, Choate is not a hard thrower. His fastball sits in the upper 80s, but that low 3/4 arm angle gets a lot of sinking, tailing action away from a right-handed hitter.
They cut and he fouled it back. Barney hit with the bases loaded to make it 2-0. Pinch hitter Jeff Baker trying to do some more damage. Got him. On a slider for strike 3. Baker really upset with a call by James Hoy.
We'll get a look on our Galaxy pitch tracks. Appeared to be low. Especially the way John Buck caught that pitch. He made it look a lot worse than it really was. As it was right at the bottom of the strike zone, but you could see the Marlins catcher reached out there and actually pushed that ball all the way down to the dirt, making it look a lot worse than it was.
Kosuke 0 for 3. Bases still loaded, 2 outs. Way outside for ball 1.
And now you'll see some of those big sweeping sliders, big flat breaking ball from Randy Choate against a left-handed hitter.
He's been a busy man since he got called up by Tampa Bay back in May of 2009. 188 relief appearances. Only Nick Massett of the Reds has more at 189. And the irony is he was brought in to get out the lefties. Well, he retired the righty, but he's 2-0 on the lefty. Fukudome. Up down the middle on a fastball, 2-1.
Once again on our Galaxy pitch tracks, a borderline pitch at the bottom of the zone. Once again, John Buck doesn't do any favors to his pitcher. Pushed that ball down out of the strike zone, then brought it back up into the zone. They still got the call.
Sanchez will tag him to end the inning. Cubs get 1 on the hit batter with the bases loaded. That's it. But hoping 2 runs will be enough. Sportsnet. After a 4-0 win over the New York Red Bulls in the U.S. Open Cup, I'm going to read the copy. The Fire looked to chop down the Portland Timbers at Toyota Park. Why not just burn them down? It's the Fire. Yeah, Fire and Timbers, Saturday at 7:30. Only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. The matchup between Timber and Fire, I'm going to take the Fire. Tony Campana will stay in and play left. And Sean Marshall will work the 8th.
43rd game of the season already for Sean Marshall, on his way to a career high. Sparkling ERA of 2.79. That includes a couple of speed bumps in the last couple of weeks of the first half of the season, but I think more so than any pitcher in that bullpen, Sean Marshall really could have used the All-Star break.
Two righties has started, then the lefty Morrison. One strike to Gaby Sanchez. Both runs charged tonight to Anibal Sanchez, 6 1/3, 2 runs allowed. Matt Garza, 7 innings, 6 hits, no runs. He was excellent.
Really good for Matt Garza once again today. We mentioned his last time out against Washington, not pretty at all, but that followed the best outing of the season when he went 9 against the White Sox, gave up only 1 run, but that was the difference in the game as he pitched a complete game and lost it 1-0. Good bounce back outing for Matt Garza. Big strikeout right there for Sean Marshall. Ball has such depth, that breaking pitch. So much movement as it gets into the hitting zone. See a lot of righties swinging right over the top of that breaking ball.
Breaking ball strike inside corner. Sounds like Ron Renicki's idea for his new late inning reliever, Francisco Rodriguez, is that he might share some time in that closer's role with John Axford. This will be Kosuke and right. 2 down. Brewers trail at Colorado 6-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Ryan Spilborghs with a first inning home run. It was a leadoff shot, in fact. There's Burt Badenhop up for the Marlins. Giants and Padres scoreless in the 2nd in San Diego. Madison Bumgarner and Aaron Harang.
That two-headed closer situation is all well and good as long as both guys buy into it, and also you have a lot of save opportunities. I mean, if you're winning a lot of close ball games and you have a lot of save opportunities for your closer, there are going to be times when you pitch the guy back-to-back days, and on that 4th day, if you happen to have another save opportunity, it's a very nice luxury to have another closer to go to in that particular situation, if both guys buy into it.
It's one luxury Jack McKeon actually had back in 2003. Braden Looper, and he had Uget Urbina, who was a midseason acquisition. Looper saved 28 games. Urbina had 6 saves for the eventual champs. Full count, 3-2 on Morrison. No problem for Fukudome. No issues for Sean Marshall. A 1-2-3 Eighth inning, bottom 8, 2-zip Cubs. On here late, but we said it starts with starting pitching, and that was the case tonight.
Boy, great job by Matt Garza coming off the long break over the All-Star game, and was really pitching well, even though he didn't have his best stuff. We talked about it early in the game. His curveball just wasn't there for him, but he threw a lot of high fastballs, had a good slider working tonight, mixed in just enough straight changeups to keep the Marlins off balance.
Burt Badenhop is the new Florida pitcher.
I used this one in Florida. Badenhop in German means can't jump. He doesn't need to jump, being a pitcher in the major leagues. Yeah.
Slider strike. He is an aspiring screenwriter, Burt Badenhop. Castro late on that fastball. New Bud Light Bleacher Series provides fans with exciting new opportunities in the Bud Light Bleachers this season, including free T-shirt Mondays, $3 12-ounce draft Bud and Bud Light Tuesday nights, and $1 Vienna Beef Hot Dog Wednesdays. Tuesday night special also available in select locations in the Seating Bowl. For more info and to purchase tickets, please visit Cubs.com. Sinker for a strike. ARAMIS, nothing out of 3. Make it 1 for 4. A 1-out single that'll bring up Pena. Well, what's been going on around baseball over the last few days? The Roger Clemens perjury trial declared a mistrial after BARD evidence was aired. I think the judge apologized for wasting everybody's time. I mentioned K-Rod sent from the Mets to the Brewers. If I told you I watched the Roger Clemens trial, I'd be lying. But it wasn't long, apparently.
Didn't take long.
Verizon call to the pen. Another change for Jack McKeon. I think it's Mike Dunn. Hander Mike Dunn.
Doesn't get hit very much, but he walks a lot of guys. 26 this year in 42 and 2/3 innings pitched, pretty much following the pattern that he had pitching for Atlanta last year. Gave up only 15 hits in 19 innings of work, but walked 17 batters. He came along with Omar Infante from the Braves in that Dan Uggla trade we talked about earlier.
Ramirez at first, Pena at the plate, 1 out. Cubs lead 2-0. We'll see Carlos Marmol in the 9th. He's getting loose in the Cubs pen as Dunn deals. Ball 1 to Pena. Swing and a miss. Edward Mujica. With the bullpen coach Reed Cornelius watching.
It's a good situation for the Cubs. 4 relief pitchers already used by Jack McKeon in this game. We'll probably see a 5th as a righty is warming up for Marlon Byrd. You love to see as many relief pitchers out of that bullpen in the first game of a series as you can.
Cameron circling. 2 down. Daily Double Burger is back for a limited time at participating McDonald's for $1.89. Here comes Jack McKeon again. And it will be Mujica to face Marlon Byrd. Horizon call to the pen. We'll be back in the 8th. Cubs lead 2-0. Edward Mujica becomes a 5th reliever over the last 2 innings for Florida. Faces Marlon Byrd, who hit a home run in the 2nd inning that at this point is holding up as a game winner. Two down here in the 8th. Ball 1.
Mujica, usually a strike thrower, led all major league relievers last year with 12 strikeouts for every walk. You have noticed his numbers this year, very similar, 30 strikeouts against only 5 walks in 42 and 2/3 innings pitched.
That's a strike. That was a best ever ratio for a National League reliever. He did, though, allow 14 home runs. The price you pay sometimes for throwing strikes.
Yep.
shallow center. Infante. And we will head off to the ninth. Carlos Marmol try to save it for Matt Garza. Trying to save it for Matt Garza and get his 20th save of the year.
I think along with every other Cubs fan in the world, I'm anxious to see what Carlos Marmol features tonight. Toward the end of that first half, his slider really started to flatten out, had very little downward movement, and he got hit pretty hard.
Starts Stanton out with a fastball outside, ball one. 99th career save chance, looking for his 81st career save. Fastball again, outside again, 2-0. Slider in, 3-0. A walk would put the tying run at the plate. But he throws a slider on 3-0. Yep, and it was low. He really wasn't close on any of the four.
And the two sliders that he threw in that sequence, very little break. Both stayed inside off the plate, including ball four.
Here's Cameron. There's a strike. Cameron has 5 career plate appearances against Carlos Marmol, and based on those appearances, he might not have even brought the bat up to the plate. He has walked once and struck out 4 times. Inside, 2-1. Nobody has swung the bat yet. He's thrown 7 pitches, only 1 for a strike.
I think that's any manager's biggest concern after the layoff for the All-Star break is how sharp are your tail end relievers going to be coming off that much of a break. I mean, Carlos Marmol, Sean Marshall, these guys are used to pitching 3, 4, maybe even 5 days a week when things are going well, and take 3 days off without picking up a baseball. You come back and try to get right back into the swing of things. It may take them a little while to get the rust off.
3-1. 2 interesting things, Bob, when you look at his pitch type numbers on FanGraphs. Number one, if it feels like he's throwing a slider more than ever, it's true. Almost 83% of the pitches he's thrown this year have been sliders. Secondly, his fastball velocity is down. He's walked the first two under 92 miles per hour. He was up around 94 the previous 3 years. And right now he needs an out. Mark Riggins is going to come out, and there is no action right now in the Cubs bullpen. The question Mike Quade and Mark Riggins have to answer: if they don't think he has it tonight, would they get somebody else up to try to bail him out?
I don't think you can wait to see if he's going to find it. So far, Carlos Marmol's been all over the place, especially with his bread and butter pitch, that slider. You know, if he were just missing off the corners a little bit here, a little bit there, and his pitches were sharp, then I'd say absolutely just keep rolling with your closer. But because of the struggles he had leading up to the All-Star break and what we've seen from the first two hitters here, I think you got to get somebody loose.
Cornerman in. Buck potentially could lay down a bunt. He squares and takes ball one to try to put two in scoring position. But at this point, Bob, I think the Marlins are doing the Cubs a huge favor if he does get a bunt down by giving the Cubs an out. And he might not bunt. He might just be showing it until Marmol throws him a strike.
Jack McKeon has his best pinch hitter in that on-deck circle, Greg Dobbs. He's been a good one for a long time, having another good year off the bench. And he figures if he can bunt these two runs into scoring position for his best pinch hitter, that's his best chance to tie this game.
Time called at the last possible moment before Marmol dealt to the plate.
Timeout may have actually been called by Carlos Pena at first base. He's having some equipment issues down there with that first baseman's mitt.
It looks like it's coming apart. He's got to tighten it up a little bit. Way inside. 3-0.
None of them close once again. That last one, a fastball at 91, way off the plate inside.
James Russell and Kerry Wood, it appears, are both going to get ready as quickly as possible. Ball four. He has walked the bases loaded and has thrown just one strike this inning.
Well, we need to see some serious four-corner stalling here by the Cubs defense. Carlos Pena, the first one to make a trip to the mound to talk to Marmol here. Somebody needs to tie their shoe. Somebody needs to get something in their eye. There needs to be a ball from the bullpen thrown onto the field. Something has to be done right here to stall for some more time and give that bullpen a chance to get ready.
Greg Dobbs is a pinch hitter. Dwayne Wise is the pinch runner for Buck. Right down the middle. We've seen him get out of these types of jams in the past. Don't know if we've seen him be this wild to start an inning. The Cubs are still ahead 2-0. And he can miss some bats, but he's got to find it fast. 1-1. He did hold. And the other thing, Bob, he's not going to get the benefit of the doubt from James Hoy on anything borderline.
And that was a good enough pitch to be called a strike right there if Marmol had been more consistently in the strike zone.
Two and two.
Down and away that time from Dobbs. Just enough downward movement to get the lefty to swing over the top.
Cubs will gladly give up a run if they can have a shot at a double play here. And the middle infield is set up for that exact thing. 2-2. Bounced foul.
Well, Len, I don't know how many teams relay signs to hitters from that runner at second base, but if you watch Carlos Marmol as he peers into Giovanni Soto to get his signs, when Gio hangs that first number down there, Carlos goes into his set position out there on the mound. He really needs to allow Gio to go through the entire set of signs just to try to confuse the runner a little bit. There comes that ball from the bullpen. The idea of going through that series of signs is to confuse the runner at second base so he cannot relay him to the hitter. But if the pitcher goes into the set position after the first sign, it's pretty easy for any runner to peer in there and see what the signs are and possibly relay that to the hitter.
For a two-pitch pitcher, pretty simple. One or the other. And it's been all sliders since the second pitch of the at-bat. Actually, I think it's been all sliders the entire at-bat. I don't think he's seen a fastball yet. Bases loaded, all on walks, nobody out. Cubs leading 2-0. The pitch. That is trouble. Right field. They're going to get 3. Greg Dobbs has given Florida a lead. No. Wise fell down. The throw got by Soto. And he gets in standing. Wise slipped between third and home. The Cubs had him in a rundown if Soto was able to field that relay throw cleanly. But it got past him. Boy, Wise must have blown out a tire at third base. He should have easily scored. As it is, it's 3-2.
Middle of the plate slider down a little bit right where Dobbs likes it. As you mentioned, all sliders, and Wise just tripped over his own feet coming around third base. That ball shot past Giovanni Soto all the way to the bricks, allowing Wise to get up and score.
So Greg Dobbs with a huge double. And Brett Hayes, a backup catcher, is going to run for him. Still nobody out. And now the Cubs trail. A 3-run double. Bob, the one correlation you could make to the Michael McHenry game-winning homer in Pittsburgh over the weekend was he kept fouling off sliders. And there's a point, and you talk about this all the time, that the deeper you go and the more you get to see a guy's bread and butter pitch, advantage hitter.
Especially when you don't really command your bread and butter pitch as well as you probably should. I mean, we could clearly see since Carlos Marmol came into this game, he's missed with his slider down, he's missed up, he's missed in, he's missed away. Unfortunately, left one right over the heart of the plate for Greg Dobbs after he had seen 7 or 8 sliders in a row, and he made him pay.
Ball 4, man oh man. 4 walks in the inning, that's it. Mike Quaddy coming out. By the way, it's a 2-run double. for Dobbs, and an error on the throw by Darwin Barney, allowing that third run. And right now the go-ahead run to score.
Looked like the throw hit right at the cut of the infield grass. Giovanni Soto looked like he was in pretty good position to field that ball, but it hit on the edge of the baseline and shot back to his right and over his shoulder all the way to the bricks.
Horizon call to the pen. Here comes Kerry Wood. Still nobody out. Kerry Wood is on, and right now he's just trying to keep the Cubs within one. 4 walks and a double. And Carlos Marmol did not record an out. First and second, nobody out for Infante.
Probably see another bunt.
In this inning, we've seen 26 pitches, 7 strikes. And only 1 ball in play. They've scored 3 runs on 1 hit. Well, the weird thing about baseball, Matt Garza probably would have told you he deserved the loss in his last start. Well, he got a no decision because of the Cubs' huge late comeback. 3-0. But tonight, he deserved the win and will not get one, and the Cubs may not get one either.
Which once again points out why 1-loss record is not a good way to evaluate a starting pitcher. This is no fault of Matt Garza's here tonight. Pitched extremely well through his 7 innings, gave up only 6 hits, did not allow a run.
And you can give some credit to the Marlins offense for not chasing a lot of Marmol pitches, but Bob, tonight he wasn't close.
No.
I mean, he gets swings and misses on pitches out of the zone all the time, but they appear as strikes. Bases loaded. 5 walks this inning.
First base number 15, Gary Sanchez.
6 in a row have reached to start this inning.
Felt pretty good about this inning, starting with the number 6 hitter, working your way through the bottom of the order. Potentially an easy save if there is such a thing. And now with the bases loaded, you roll around to the 3, 4, 5 hitters in this Marlins lineup. Trouble brewing here again.
The other blown saves over the last month or so for Marmol Not as big a concern because he got hit. I mean, guys do get hit, but I think because he has missed so badly tonight, definite cause for concern.
Yeah, you wonder if the fact that he was so wildly out of the strike zone is because he was getting hit in his last few relief outings, or whether he just didn't have any command of anything tonight.
Fly ball, Campana going back. He's going to get to the spot. The pinch runner Hayes will score. Also, Bonifacio tagged from second. So it's now 4-2 Florida on a sac fly by Gabby Sanchez.
Shortstop number 2, HANLEY Ramirez.
And now it'll be Leo Nunez in the bottom of the ninth, already with 25 saves this season. Up and in on HANLEY Ramirez. And a base hit to right. Bonifacio scores. It's now 5-2. Horizon call to the pen. Lefty Logan Morrison will face lefty James Russell when we come back. Russell. He'll face Logan Morrison, left-handed hitting. Marlins left fielder.
James Russell has been really good in his role as a left-handed specialist, sometimes a little more than a left-handed specialist out of that Cubs bullpen. He's allowed only 4 of 22 inherited runners to score, and that's the task he has in front of him here with a couple of Marlins on base for Logan Morrison.
Really struggled in that starting role he held for a bit. Lost all 5 starts, had a 9+ ERA, but as a reliever, 1.47. Slider missed. The value of throwing strikes been a real problem here in this 9th inning. 5 walks. Foul tip, 1-1.
James Russell, I called him a left-handed specialist. I think he's more than that, but against lefties, they assume they're going to see a steady diet of breaking pitches. Good to see James use that fastball on the inside part of the plate. Comes right back with a breaking pitch on the inside part to run the count to 1-2. I think too many left-handed specialists get stuck on that breaking pitch. They just want to throw one after another to the left-handed hitters, and in many cases you're doing them a favor. A lot of lefties have trouble pulling the trigger on a fastball in from a left-handed pitcher.
Breaking ball bounced to Pena. He'll take it to the bag for out number 2. Will get us down to Mike Stanton, who started the inning with a leadoff walk. If this score holds up, Edward Mujica would get his 7th win out of the Marlins bullpen. 40 appearances.
Give him the team lead in wins this season.
It'll be a 2-walk inning for Stanton, this time intentionally, to load the bases with Mike Cameron on deck. And Russell will get Cameron. There's nobody up in the Cubs bullpen.
Center fielder Mike Cameron.
Been a 45-pitch 9th inning. Only 16 strikes for 3 different Cubs. The last 4 were intentional balls. There's ball 1 to Cameron. Two and one. Not the way the Cubs wanted to start the second half. Going into the 9th, you would have said a perfect script. 2-0 lead. Starter went 7. Marshall with a clean 8. Base hit into left. 1 is in. Here comes another guy, and he's out. Bonifacio never did leave his feet. Rather, Ramirez. Hanley Ramirez tagged out, never did slide. But they add another run, 6-2. left. Brett Hayes, who also pinch ran, will catch. And Leo Nunez will do the pitching, and he will be in the 5th spot. Logan Morrison out.
25 out of 28 in save opportunities for Leo Nunez. Tremendous straight changeup, fastball, changeup, slider pitcher. You'll see a lot of changeups.
And this is now not a save opportunity because of a 4-run lead. Cameron gets an RBI single as Infante scored, and Ramirez was thrown out by Campana, who lays down a perfect bunt. He'll be safe by a mile.
No chance whatsoever for Bonifacio down there at third base. I don't think that ball was going to roll into foul territory. It was far enough onto the infield grass that it probably just dies out there in front of the Marlins third baseman, but he had no chance to throw out Tony Campana.
Soto 3 for 3 on his bobblehead night. Ball 1. Marmol charged with 5 runs, 4 earned. Kerry Wood gave, rather all earned, 5 and 5. Kerry Wood gave up 1. James Russell able to get out of that inning, getting the final 2 outs. 4 walks for Marmol, as he could not get an out. Fastball strike 1 and 2. Campana can't be very aggressive at first with his team down 4. His run doesn't really matter, just trying to pile up base runners at this point. 2 and 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the Marlins, the pitcher Leo Nunez bats 5th. Additionally remaining in the game to catch, number 9, Brett Hayes.
Well, partner, I know Carlos Marmol, Cubs are not concerned about his ERA, but a night like this can really ruin it for a short reliever. That is fair for Soto. Campana racing to third. He's going to be stopped there, and Soto again can't take a chance. He would have been out at second had he tried for a double. The corners with nobody out. Soto 4 for 4.
Come back tomorrow night when it'll be Giovanni Soto bobblehead doll part 2. Boy, what a night. 4 for 4. Looked like a double off the bat, but a nice defensive play by Dwayne Wise to get over into that Cubs bullpen, track that ball down quickly, and came up firing right away to second base. The Campana scampers around to third. Cubs on the corners, nobody out.
Carlos Marmol's ERA went up over a run tonight alone. 257 to 3.64. Ouch. 0-1. The first 4-hit game since he was a Rookie of the Year in 2008. That gets out of the mitt of the catcher. Campana will score. Brett Hayes again just came on after pinch running. It's a passed ball. 6-3, still nobody out. Well, the Marlins scored 6 at the top of the inning on just 3 hits. Maybe something weird and special can happen here in the bottom of the ninth. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Nunez throws extremely hard. His fastball's been in the mid to upper 90s with some late movement, and Hayes has not played but 20 games this year. Just couldn't hang on to that one.
Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Barney. Reed Johnson is on deck in the pitcher's spot. Young Cub fan is going to hang around to the final pitch.
Until he runs out of fingernails, one or the other.
Ground ball up the middle, and the play goes to first. Ramirez gets Barney. 1 away, runner at third. Now Reed Johnson, who has just crushed Marlins pitching in his career. Names change, but as long as they're wearing that Marlins uniform, he does damage. 18 for 43 with 2 homers. That's a .419 average against the Marlins. I know it's not easy, Bob, in this spot, but Reed Johnson really can't think about, I got to get this guy in. I got to get this guy in. You almost have to treat it like I'm leading off an inning and I'm just trying to reach base, because a sac fly doesn't really help.
You want to avoid outs right now.
Avoiding outs, yeah.
A 6-3 ball game. The Marlins would gladly trade that run at third base for the second out of the inning, clear the bases, have a 2-run lead with the top of the order and Kosuke Fukudome coming up. They would gladly trade an out for a run right here.
It goes against your instinct as a veteran hitter with a guy at third and 1 out, but that's the scenario here in the ninth. Hit foul. Mike Meyer with the error. Another 0-2 to Johnson in the dirt, blocked by Hayes.
See, all's well that ends.
That's
well.
right.
Yep.
And he gets to save his fingernails too. Nice job, Mike.
Attaboy, Mike.
We expunged the error from your record. Nunez ready. And the pitch. Foul.
Mentioned that Nunez fastball in the mid to upper 90s. His changeup approaches 90 miles an hour. He usually throws it 87, 88, 89 with a lot of movement.
I'd say he's piled up saves the last 3 years in relative anonymity in South Florida. He has 81 since 2009. And not a save chance. And he got him for out number 2.
Country hardball that time from Leo Nunez. He just rears back and throws it as hard as he can up and in at 96. Reed Johnson with a big cut. Looking back to hope that Hayes maybe dropped that third strike, but unfortunately he was able to hold on for the second out of the inning.
So it's up to Kosuke to keep the Cubs alive here tonight after Florida plated 6 in the top of this inning. Oh, and 1.
Mile-an-hour changeup. The bottom just falls out of that pitch as it gets into the hitting zone.
One and 2 to Fukudome. And he got him. Called strike 3, and the Marlins come all the way back in the 9th with 6 runs. Greg Dobbs with the big hit, the pinch hit double. 3 runs scored on the play, got a couple of RBIs. And our GMC player of the game is Dobbs, the big hit in that 9th inning.
Yeah, he's definitely the guy we were worried about in that inning. We mentioned the fact he's been one of the premier pinch hitters in the league for a long time. Saw a steady diet of sliders.